Hey friends, happy Friday evening. It is Melissa with Junk and Craft Treasures on the Essential Stencil page. Okay guys, we're gonna go and get started. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a line right here and a line right here. I know I try to wing it sometimes, but this is where I'm gonna put the tape and that's gonna be my center. So easy that way. So if you have a pencil, use the pencil instead of trying to figure it out how I always try to figure it out, y'all. Okay, so then I'm just gonna line this right up with the pencil mark for this particular one. All right, so I'm gonna use, it's called Mint Julep. It's a little bit different color than what's my favorite color? Carriage House Green, guys. But it's a really pretty mint green, so that's what I wanna do on this one. I wanna do one thing real quick with this shell. I was showing y'all at the very beginning, I got these really cool shells. We are going to use a transfer on here. I'm gonna go ahead and prep it. Okay, so we've got a shop towel. We have some alcohol. I'm using 99%. You don't have to use that strong, but it works good for getting all the stuff off. So we're just gonna put a little bit of alcohol onto that blue shop towel, and I am going to clean the inside of the shell. Then we're going to take, I'm using Bonding Boss. You can use any type of primer that you use to help things adhere to things. You could use Ultra Grip. I recommend not skipping this step. Some people do skip the bonding step, but I am a very big advocate of having things that have shiny surfaces and stuff for putting things on them to help things adhere. Now this is you're supposed to wait 24 hours to get the complete dryness of it. We're going to go ahead and rush that process a little bit tonight, but normally let it dry on its own. Don't try to rush it because you want it to be able to adhere, your paint adhere and not chip off. This will also help your transfer stick when it gets ready to be applied. Now we're going to go back to the paint. We're using Mint Julep for the center. Okay guys, I'm going to get that dry. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a second coat. Let me get that dry and then I did decide to do 2 coats, guys. This is chalk paint. It's a little bit different than my fusion paint. It's got that chalky finish to it, so we will sand it. But for now, I wanted to do 2 coats to make sure I got all of that wood covered. All right, guys, so we're gonna take this frog tape off. This is what I'm thinking. We're gonna do a buttercream color for the background, and then we're gonna come in with some white with this damask pattern on the bottom. And then we're going to add the transfers over that, but it'll be enough contrast where it's not super, super bright white, but it'll still have enough. Let me get my buttercream down. All right, so all I'm doing is just covering up those lines. Okay, so we're going to put our buttercream on here. Okay, guys, so we've got our cream on there. Like I said, we're just going to use 1 coat of that. We have our painted surface, still a little wet, but we've got that. So I'm just making sure this is dry, because like I said, we're going to put that white on next. Okay, this is a very high grit sandpaper. This is a 600, y'all. You can get some of that wood grain and pull it up and do all kinds of fun things with it. But if you're using rice paper and things like that, it's perfect. All right, so got that. Now it looks better. Now it looks better because it's all dry, right? Now, what we're going to do, I am going to tape this because it's just going to be easier. And we should be good like that because I know better not to hit it right there. Okay. And we're going to lay this down. Okay, guys. So we're going to go back to our white paint, and I will probably do 2 coats of the white. Okay. Can y'all see it now in that cream? Really pretty, really subtle. Just got to line it up how I did it over there. And like I always say with white, 2 coats is always the best. That is so pretty, y'all. Okay, tape off. Because it'll look much better when that's off. Okay, can y'all see it now? Let's do our stencil that I probably lost now. Here it is. Again, guys, I know this one is out of stock, but this is the one we're using tonight because it's going to fit almost perfectly with what we're doing. I use the same white brush. Like I said, we're kind of keeping it all within the same family color tonight. All right, y'all. So I know it's backwards, but we have our faith, hope, and love. Now we're going to add our transfers. Do this one right here. Let's do this one first. So I was like, I want to do these. Okay. All we're going to do is burnish these in. Love it, love it, love it. All right. What would be really pretty is if we use this as a serving tray and just put 2 handles right here. Ha! That would be so pretty. Come right down to that tape. Pull up my tape. And then I have that super crisp line where the transfer looks like it's coming from behind. Does that make sense? So it's actually not on the green. Y'all, so pretty. Let's put 2 little ones up here just to kind of balance it, which that's super pretty just like that. But let's just do 2 little ones. I use the matte because I just like things matte. You could also use different types of oils too. All right, y'all, this is so pretty. Okay, put it right here for a second. And we're gonna do our shell that we started at the beginning, and then we'll be done for tonight, y'all. I don't have a beach theme one yet, so I figured let's do it. Okay, so just like we do any other transfer, we wanna make sure that our surface is actually dry. Because I want my paint to stick to my shell. So I always use some type of primer. You can use a spray paint before you do any other paint. I just like my paint to stick to my surface. I don't want to be working on my transfer and have my transfer lift my paint up and not stick. So that bonding boss is going to help that slick surface to have that paint adhere. Okay, I'm going to take my transfer, okay, and I'm going to work to one side, and then I'll come back to my other side, okay? So we've got it down the middle of this groove. So now the whole thing is transparent, and it just comes right off, y'all. So cute. I'm gonna take my finger over it. We have our turtle on there. No cracks in it, no nothing, y'all. So perfect. Let's use gold leaf. It's gonna be the same way when we outline our other projects. Start small. If you want to add a little more, you can come back and add more. Okay. Can you see the gold around the edges? We're gonna add fun part, which is pouring resin. I'm going to take my pouring resin. I am going to pour it in here. And then I'm just going to go around my shell. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'll kind of hold it up. I'm just going to take that resin and just kind of go around in a circle. We'll let it dry. We'll put it right here and we'll let it dry and it'll be good. All right, guys, that's all I have for tonight. As in my code Craft Treasures does save at checkout. So y'all be blessed. Be safe this weekend. Bye, guys.